In a small town, there was a young woman who came to the same cafe every morning and always sat at the same table. Not because the coffee there was the best in town, but because that seat faced a large window. From there, she could watch people passing by, as if the life of the city unfolded quietly before her eyes. She didn't know any of them, but she liked to watch the man rushing to work, the one carrying 2 cups of coffee, a mother holding her child's hand, an old man slowly riding his bicycle past the cafe. All these scenes seemed ordinary, yet somehow never quite the same each day. Some mornings were cloudy, some were bright and golden, but no matter the weather, she came, at the same time, to the same seat. One day, it began to rain. Raindrops tapped gently against the window, a slow, rhythmic sound, like a song without melody. She listened in silence, occasionally lifting her cup to take a sip and smiling softly at the stillness of it all. Then, she saw something. An elderly woman stood by the bus stop across the street. The rain grew heavier, but the old woman had no umbrella. She held an old folded book over her head, while others ran past, not even glancing her way. The young woman watched for a moment, then quietly stood up, took her umbrella from her bag, walked out into the rain, and handed it to the old woman without saying a word. The woman looked up and smiled, just a small, gentle smile. And in that instant, the rain seemed to soften. When the young woman returned to the cafe, her clothes were half soaked, but her heart felt strangely warm. The next morning, she came again, to the same seat by the window. It wasn't raining this time, but she looked outside with different eyes. She saw people crossing the street, a mother lifting her child, a man raising his cup in laughter with a friend. Everything looked the same, yet somehow it wasn't. She finally understood. An ordinary day isn't a day when nothing happens. It's the day we begin to see what's been there all along without needing it to be special. Often, life doesn't lack beautiful moments. It only lacks the eyes that notice them. She still came to the same cafe at the same time, but inside her, everything had changed. Because from that day on, each time she looked out the window, she no longer saw people passing by, but life itself. Quiet, moving, and full of meaning. The beauty of ordinary days is not in what happens, but in how gently we begin to see. And on this day, the sound of rain slowly faded, leaving only the calm breath of the city. The woman still sat at her familiar table, gazing out that same window. The world outside remained unchanged. Cars moved, people walked, yet in her eyes, everything was different. Because sometimes, every ordinary day hides a small miracle, if only we begin to see instead of look past. And in that silence, a voice rose from within, quiet yet unmistakable, a voice that came not from the world outside, but from the heart itself. This is beyond the mind, where we don't just listen to the world around us, but see the world within ourselves,